Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Lifeology. Today here I am going to talk about the lactose operon. So what is this lactose operon? We are going to see in the detail. This is very important concept for the undergraduate, postgraduate as well as 10+2 students who are interested or who are going to study the molecular biology and genetics. So here in the lactose operon we are going to see what is operon, what is the promoter, what is the operator. These are the important terms related to the operon system. Then actual lac operon, then the structure, function and working of lac operon, and the regulation, which is the most important point about this lactose operon. There is two-way regulation, that is the negative control and the positive control. In examination sometime the regulation lactose operon is asked with respect to the type of regulation, that is explain the lac operon with negative control, explain the lac operon with positive control, like that. Okay, so let us start. So like operon, first we will see what is operon. So operon is the group of functionally related genes with promoter and controlled by an operator. This is very important, or you can say very standard definition. Each and every word should remember, and each and every word is having its own significance. So it is a group of functionally related, and the simplest definition, functionally related genes. The genes should have same or related function. Okay, the genes, group of genes, it is nothing but a group of genes with same function, and they should also have a promoter and an operator. These two things should be there, then and then only that we can call the operon, that group we can call operon. Okay, important thing about the operon is that they are present only in the prokaryotes. In eukaryotes there are no operons. Remember this point, eukaryotes don't have operons, they are present only in the prokaryotes, and that is why these prokaryotes they produce the polycystonic mRNA, and that is why they are having the operon system. Okay, so then what is promoter? A sequence of DNA. It is a sequence of DNA needed, that is nothing but the nucleotide sequence. DNA to turn gene on or off means it is just like a switch, as we are having electrical switch in our house to turn on or off the electrical appliances. Like that we are having some sequence which will turn on or off the gene expression, that whether the protein should form or not form, that will be decided by this sequence. Okay, now the position where it is present, it is generally present near the beginning of the gene. When the gene begins, before that there will be a sequence that we call the promoter. Okay, that you can understand when we will see the structure. Then important fact about this promoter is that it should have a binding site for the enzyme used to make messenger RNA. What enzyme is used to make mRNA? That is RNA polymerase. It should have a site for the binding of RNA polymerase, that is to initiate the transcription. Then what is operator? Now it is a segment of DNA, means again a sequence on DNA which repressor bind to which repressor. Now again a new term, repressor. It is again a protein which represses. Repress means which stops the operon, the function of the operon, and here in this region the repressor binds. Okay, now what is the position? It is generally present between promoter and the functional genes. Again in the structure you will understand this. Okay, so what is lac operon? So we have seen the operon is a group of genes. Now here in the lactose operon, this group of genes which are required for the transport and metabolism, these two words are or terms are very important, transport and metabolism of lactose in E. coli and many other enteric bacteria, because these bacteria E. coli, they are able to utilize the lactose, others they cannot. Why they cannot? Because they are not having lac operon. Okay, that you can see. So this was for first time proposed by two persons, that is Jacob and Monod in 1961. You can see here the image, this person is Jacques Monod, not a Jacob Monod. Jacob and Monod are two different persons, the names are quite tongue twisters. Jacques Monod, he was a French biochemist, and the another one is the Francois Jacob, he was again a French biologist. These two together they shared a Nobel Prize also in the medicine, and they for first time proposed this operon model. Okay, so let us see the operon model. Suppose this is our system where the bacterial cell is growing. Now it can be an artificial or natural system. We can consider it as an artificial system, as a petri plate where we grow bacteria in the laboratory. So we supply this bacteria with media with a carbon source. For example, here carbon source is glucose, which is the most common carbon source. Almost all type of bacteria which can utilize, some exceptions are there, but every bacteria can utilize this glucose as it is the simplest carbon source. Okay, so this bacteria, why they easily utilize the glucose? Because they are having the enzymes for glucose metabolism constitutively present inside them. so they can easily utilize the glucose. Now for example, your media is provided with lactose along with the glucose. Now what will happen? The bacterial cell, whether they will utilize glucose or lactose, they will utilize glucose only, because this is a simple form. As the humans are interested in the things which require less effort, similarly the bacteria, they are also interested in the things which requires the less efforts, and utilization, metabolism of glucose will require less efforts. Okay, so then suppose the glucose is not present in the system, then what? Then bacteria have to utilize the lactose sugar. Then for this lactose utilization, for this lactose utilization, it should be transported and should be metabolized. Then they will require enzyme system, and this enzyme system or proteins, they are produced through this group of genes, that is we call the lactoperon. So here you can say the bacterial cell which are having lactoperon can only utilize the lactose, others bacteria they cannot. That's why we when we do the biochemical test, we write the lac positive, lac negative, that when sugar test is done. So lactose sugar positive means they are having the lactoperon. Okay, so lactoperon, this is the simplified structure of the lactoperon. Here you can see the different parts of this operon: lac I, P, O, lac Z, lac Y and lac A. Okay, so here lac Z, Y and A, these are the actual structural genes. They will encode the enzymes for lactose metabolism, that we call the structural genes. Actual enzymes will be produced from these genes only. Then O is the operator, P is the promoter and I is these are the regulatory element. P and O are the regulatory element. Then lac I is the repressor gene, it will produce a repressor protein which will bind to the operator. Okay, and this is called the regulatory gene, and this together, regulatory gene and regulatory element, they will carry out the regulation. Okay, so this is the general structure of lactoperon. Then here lac A, it will produce an enzyme trans-acetylase which will carry out the trans-acetylation. Then lac Y will produce the enzyme permease which will allow the entry of lactose inside the cell, and lac Z will produce the enzyme beta-galactosidase, that is the key enzyme, and which will convert lactose, which is a disaccharide, into two monosaccharides, that is glucose and galactose, that is the complex sugar is converted into simpler form. So that is a general structure of the lactoperon, a complete structure. Okay, now let's see the working mechanism. Here again the lactoperon, you can remember it as IPOZYA, IPOZYA. Okay, very simple, very easy to remember, and the sequence is very important, IPOZYA. Okay, so here it can produce an mRNA by transcription, and this RNA, it will be translated into a protein that we call the repressor protein. Now we know this repressor can bind to the operator, but here in the lactoperon, the repressor is, this repressor is inactive unless it is it will be converted into a tetrameric structure. The monomeric repressor is the inactive. Now it will converted into a tetrameric structure which is active repressor, and it will go and it will bind to the operator region. Okay, thereby the operator, it is blocked. Now there is something on the operator, and we know the polymerase, it can bind on to the promoter. Now we can understand here, as there is a hurdle between the structural genes and the promoter, can polymerase grow in the into the forward direction, and can it produce mRNA? No. Here polymerase will not work, there will be no transcription, and hence there will be no expression of these ZYA genes. Okay, and that we call the negative control. Remember this very simple concept. What is this concept? That the lac I, it will produce a repressor protein, and repressor protein, it will tetramerizes and it will be go and bind to the operator region, and thereby it will restrict the polymerase to form the transcript, that is mRNA, and thereby the operon, it will be shut off. Okay, so that will be when glucose is present, because this is the condition in absence of lactose. When there is no lactose, and this lactose here, it is also called the inducer, because here lactose induces the production of the enzymes required for the lactose metabolism. That's why it is also called the inducer. Okay, so remember this thing. Now for example, the lactose is present, what will happen? this lactose, it will go and it will bind to the repressor and it will inactivate the repressor protein, that is called the induction. It will induce by inactivating the repressor protein. Now as the repressor is inactivated, operator is there is nothing on the operator. Okay, one more thing, we are having some other types of repressor inducers also, that is allolactose, that is slightly different in the structure from the lactose, and the IPTG. Okay, now let us see the mechanism. As the repressor is not there on the operator region is open, the polymerase can go into the forward direction and there will be a formation of a transcript, and this transcript, it will form the enzymes beta galactosidase, permease and the transacetylase for the metabolism and transport of the lactose inside the cell. Okay, so that is the general working. Now the positive control. What is positive control? We have seen the negative control. In absence of lactose, there will be a negative control. So what is positive control? Now what happens? Glucose, for example, glucose is absent. Okay, we are not having glucose in the system, we are having lactose in the system. Now we know what will happen. Repressor protein, there will be a formation of repressor protein, but this repressor protein will get inactivated due to this lactose. Okay, remember one more thing, the LAC-I, it will be always produce the RNA. You can see say it is a constitutive type of gene. It will always produce RNA, it will be converted into the repressor. Now what happens? A new concept will come here. So RNA polymerase will come and bind to the promoter, but this RNA polymerase, it will not remain on the promoter, it will get slipped off. The slippage of RNA polymerase is there, and to stop it from the slipping, we will require something which can hold this polymerase onto the promoter. So what is that something? Okay, then we'll again go back to the glucose. In absence of glucose, or when there is low concentration of glucose, there will be increased concentration of AMP. Now what is AMP? Adenosine monophosphate. Okay, you remember glucose is converted, when glucose is metabolized, it will produce the ATP. But when glucose is not there, the ATP, the phosphate of ATP will be utilized and it will be converted into AMP. Now when there is AMP concentration increases or glucose concentration decreases, the enzyme adenylate cyclase will get stimulated and it will convert the AMP into cyclic AMP, and this cyclic AMP, it binds with another protein, that is CAP, that is cyclic AMP activator protein, and these two bind together and they form a complex CAMP complex. Now this complex, it will go to the promoter, it is having site for the binding on the promoter and it will bind there and it will not allow this RNA polymerase to fall down, to slip from the promoter. Now it will be hold, the RNA polymerase will hold on the position and the transcription can easily carry out. The RNA will be there and this RNA, they will produce the enzyme. So that is called the positive control. So what is positive control? When there is a role of CAMP complex, that we call the positive control, and when there is a repressor is binding to the operator, that we call the negative controls. Okay, so that was all about the lactose operon. Hope you understand this. Thank you for watching Learn Lifeology.